And here we go. It's the nightcap on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you by our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app. Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. From the app, you can order delivery and pretty wide delivery range. You will need Uber Eats to complete the order and have your food brought to you, but a lot cheaper doing it this way and not paying the fees that you normally pay for delivery service that I know drive everybody crazy. They drive me crazy.
Same.
You look at a $26 order and you're checking out at $47. You're like, what the hell am I doing here? Galactic is doing their best to help avoid that.
A lot of times with Uber Eats too, they'll raise the prices on actual menu items.
Yeah.
So
do it that way. And enjoy your Galactic Fried Chicken. There was a question today. We haven't hit this, and we need to, I guess I need to mention it every time. Make sure when you're there, you have to do it to get the discount. You have to be in person, order over the phone or in person. Mention Pump It Up, and you get 15% off.
Doesn't work when you're ordering over the app.
It does not yet. We'll work on that. All right, Aaron, that's about it. Good to talk to you tonight. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. They wanted these to be shorter. Here you go.
I wish.
That was ugly.
What about the live? What about the live in the corner? Mine's showing 8 hours. I don't know.
I'm showing 1 minute 55 seconds.
I don't know. I'm in a different setup, and mine's showing 8 hours 2 minutes 4 seconds. That's weird. Anyway, out of this world.
Yeah.
Galactic.
Tulsa 83, Cincinnati 77. That's your final. There's a lot that we could talk about. I don't know how much of it I even feel like talking about, but I'm sure we will. The lead, you play defense that shitty for 40 minutes, you're gonna lose. Like that's it. Like I kept waiting for at some point they were going to figure Tulsa out and get a stretch or two where they were able to get stops and pull ahead. And they kept getting it down to 5, getting it down to 4. They got it down to 2 at one point, and they just never could stop Tulsa to the point that they were able to. They didn't. Aaron.
Chad.
How many minutes do you think Cincinnati had the lead in this game?
5.
0 minutes. 0 seconds. Tulsa had the lead for 39 minutes and 8 seconds of this game.
I thought maybe we had something early on, but I guess I was wrong.
No. Tulsa led right away. They never trailed. You can look, we talked about this when they first played Tulsa. Like, this is a Tulsa team. Yeah, they're 1-10 in conference. 7 of their 10 conference losses have been by 5 points or less. This was a team that at some point was going to close out a game and get a win. You just couldn't be that team. You couldn't let it be you, right? Like, that's the telltale sign of a team playing well. And we have talked about for the past 2.5, 3 weeks, this team had been struggling to score 60 points, but the defense had been on point.
They scored 77.
7. They shouldn't ever lose when scoring 77 points.
You're right.
But instead, Tulsa flat out kicked their ass on Tulsa's offensive end of the floor. Here's something crazy for you, Aaron. Tulsa shot 51.6% from the floor in the first half. And their shooting percentage went up in the second half.
Yes,
it went up.
Yes, it did, because they finished at 52.5.
They shot 53.3% in the second half. There was never a stretch in this game where Cincinnati's defense showed up.
Here's something crazy for you, Chad. Cincinnati shot 13 more shots than Tulsa.
Yeah.
13.
That's the only reason they were even close.
That's the only reason they were in the game, correct. And don't get me wrong, like I love this new up-tempo offense. I mean, not new, but I mean new this year, I guess. Like I love them running a fast up-tempo offense. I truly do. I love, but you have to take good shots, not just take shots, but take good shots. And I think that's where maybe the disconnect might be.
I don't know. I mean, I know people complained a lot about the number of threes shot. I didn't overly mind it. They shot 33%. They made 12 of 36. So they made 1 out of every 3 threes that they took. What is that great? No. Should you win a game when you make 12 threes? Yes. You know what makes it difficult? Do you know what makes that difficult? Going 7 of 22 on layups. You know why they're not shooting a lot of layups? Because they suck at shooting layups. Like this is not a team built to score at the rim. They got beat in paint scoring 44-26. And everybody wants to know why they shot so many threes. Why did they shoot so many threes? Are you kidding me? They had 22 shots at the rim. They scored 26 points. I'm not done ranting. Okay, now.
Do you think that maybe this was a team that was licking their chops a little bit because they shot so well from 3 and put up 90 on them the last time they played?
No, they scored 77. No, it's a team that played shitty defense for 40 minutes. Like, the thing is, they were good on the offensive glass. The rebound battle was even, which is where they really struggle. They had an advantage in second chance points. Effort was not the issue in terms of, like, did they play hard? I thought the first 2 segments, they looked a little flat-footed. I don't know that it was an effort thing, but I didn't think they had, like, kind of that bounce in their step that we've seen them have. But I thought they got over that. Like, I thought they played through it and got on track.
I guess I'm not trying to say that I think that it was for lack of effort. I'm just trying to say, like, I wonder if they thought that the shots were going to fall at some point because the last time they played. Well, I mean,
they scored 77 points. They scored over a point per possession.
28-74, though, you expect the ball to fall a little bit more than 37%.
But they fought through that. They got more shots. They did the things offensively that they needed that in 90% of the situation results in a win. The defense was just shit. Look, this is not where everybody used to get mad about Mick when they would lose a game 53-48 and he would talk about the defense. Like, where the offense was bad and needed to be addressed, right? Yeah. That's not this. This is a game where the offense performed more than well enough to go into Tulsa and get a win.
Well, and Tulsa didn't rebound offensively very well at all. They only had 7 offensive rebounds. Cincinnati had 13, so they had plenty of second opportunities. It's just the fact
I just said. They couldn't stop Tulsa from scoring.
I'm giving you credo to your point. Yes, that's where the numbers are. So I don't know what I watched, if I'm being completely honest. I kept waiting for the score to change. I was waiting for it to flop, and it never.
They never got over. The problem was they never got over the hump.
No,
they were there plenty. Like let's look through the second half. They cut it to 4. Jeremiah made a 3 early in the second half. They cut it to 4. Cut it to 4 again. Like a minute later. DeJulius made a free throw that cut it to 4 with 16:40 to go. Tulsa pushed it back out to 9. DeJulius makes a 3 to cut it to 3 with 11 minutes to go. Pushed it back out to 7. Koval gets an and one to cut it to 4 with 9:40 to go, immediately gets pushed back out to 8 in less than a minute, and then 10 at 8:01.
There was a big moment right around there where DeJulius was driving, and there wasn't a call, and then it turned over because both players hit the floor, whether it was a charge or whether it was a defensive blocking. I didn't like the no call because it turned into an immediate Tulsa.
It was
break.
clearly it was on Horn. It was clearly a block. It should have been a block. He didn't have legal guarding position. There was contact, and the contact resulted in a turnover. It should have been a block.
With fast break points.
With fast break that led to 2 points the other way. I agree that was a terrible call.
Or no
overall,
call.
It didn't no call. Overall, but the officiating, and I really thought the key to the game was going to be Mason Madsen hits those 2 threes to cut it from 10.
Absolutely.
And then from 10 down to 7, Tulsa scores. Then they cut it down to 6. They get it to 2 with 4:38 left. And that was it.
I thought that no
That
call.
was it.
I thought that no call was a backbreaker in a momentum swing.
But that was well before Madsen hits the 2 threes. They cut it to 6. Koval scores, gets a free throw, cuts it to 4. Micah, layup, cuts it to 2. 73-71, they trail with 4:38 to go. All the momentum.
I guess the only solace in all of this is the fact that Houston's lost the last 2 games. And honestly,
what is that? Playoffs? Playoffs?
My point is this conference is up for anyone at this point.
No, it's not. Cincinnati's not winning this conference at this point.
It depends on if we can beat Memphis.
No, it doesn't.
Memphis just beat Houston. SMU.
What does that have to do with Houston and SMU losing 4 more games between now and the end of the season?
Just saying, like this conference, any given night, anybody can lose.
Okay, but what does that have to do with Cincinnati competing for a conference championship?
They played like shit.
Playoffs?
They played like shit.
They were awful. Defensively, it was so like
it wasn't even a fun game to watch. Like I can handle a game with 77 where it feels like a fun game to watch, but it wasn't at any point a fun game to watch. It just felt like
because
come on, guys, because you're so close.
Big brother in Cincinnati.
Because you're so close.
They kept them like this at arm's length the entire game.
I don't even want to call that.
Kept their hand on their forehead.
I don't even want to call that big brothering anymore. I want to call that being why can't I remember his name right now? Good Lord.
Whatever. Okay.
That's
whatever.
Fine.
You got to get stops, man. They're down 2 with 4:38, 73-71.
Being John Newman.
Yeah. At 2:47. So less than 2 minutes. The lead went from 2 to 8. 2:47. Horn makes a jumper. 79-71. 6-0 run by Houston. 2-point or Houston. Now you get Houston.
You're welcome.
6-0 run in under 2 minutes. And the game's over. Like, you have to dig in and get stops there. Yes, Cincinnati missed some looks, some good looks, including a Jeremiah Davenport just point-blank layup that he didn't get to go down. And then they go down on the other end and hit a layup, what?
Newman had a layup
20 seconds later, 10
right
seconds later.
Time.
Yeah. But if you don't get stops, none of it matters. And Houston, I did it again. Tulsa went from 73 to 79 in a minute and 50 seconds. Minute and whatever. Just about a minute and 50 seconds. That can't happen. Not if you plan on getting a win on the road.
Interesting.
And here's the thing. Here's the important thing for me. Why is this Tulsa team 1-10 in conference?
Because they're not good.
God,
You don't mean that.
I might.
Maybe tonight, but you don't mean that.
Because in these situations, the opponent has put relentless game pressure on them, and they folded. And Cincinnati failed to put that game pressure on them after cutting it to 2. After cutting it to 2, Tulsa took over and dominated the remainder of the game. And that's not how you break the back of a bad team. You know how you break the back of a bad team? You get a stop, you tie the game going into the under 4 or what, or right after the under 4 timeout. You tie the game and you make them feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders, right? You make that pressure matter.
Well,
and Cincinnati didn't make it matter.
Right now, I would argue that Micah Adams-Wood is feeling all of the weight of the world on his shoulders, finishing 4 of 17, 0 for 7 from 3. He actually finished with more turnovers than he did with assists for maybe the first time all season.
The turnover thing is becoming a problem.
3 turnovers, sure. 3 turnovers to 2 assists. Mikey even actually had more turnovers than assists at 2-1. That's not great play from your point guard.
It's not, but that's minuscule.
But it's not been a problem.
The thing with Micah that's frustrating is but here's what I would say. I think he took 5 or 6 really good looks from 3 and didn't hit any of them. Like if the play works and the ball pops and you get a guy taking a wide open 3, if he hits 2 of those, we're probably we're having a different conversation tonight about how gutty this team was, not playing well.
How he's being aggressive when we've asked that of him all year.
So I'm not going to be too hard on a guy that we've wanted to be more aggressive. It's just I get the maybe not try to be aggressive on a night where you can't throw the ball in the fucking ocean from the beach.
I think that's where we end this.
Maybe a night where you can't throw the ball in the ice chest from Mo Egger's broadcast location.
Yeah, there's no ice anywhere near 91 degree LA.
Oh, are you kidding? You didn't see Mo's broadcast location?
No.
He was set up outside on a sidewalk next to an ice, like where bags of ice are. Like he didn't have a tent. He didn't have like a stage. Like you see, like all these people have these stages, and he didn't have a table. He had 2 bar stools from one of the spots. And on one bar stool, he had the Comrex, which is like what connects you to the internet and gets you on the air. And on the other stool, he had his laptop. That was his workstation right next to an icebox.
I truly hope that anyone from Barstool was set up with only bar stools, because I think that's so fitting.
No, that's all Mo had. Mo literally only had bar stools.
I understand. And I'm saying that I hope that also anyone from Barstool that was there also only got bar stools because, again, I feel that's fitting.
That's like $1 billion, $500 million company at this point. So they had very nice things. Mo had a couple bar stools on a curb in Santa Monica. Go look at his Twitter. I know you don't have your normal setup tonight, so you can't pull up tweets. Go look at his Twitter to compare the locations that he was at, and he went on with the people, one of the radio stations from LA. Like they had a stage and a table with a table skirt over top of it, lighting.
He's like, how do I get this?
Mo was like, here's my broadcast location. And he was like sitting on a curb with his laptop in his lap. Like
next to a tent community.
Yeah. No, there was no tents. He's like, I don't know if my laptop and this Comrex are going to overheat and I'm going to get kicked off the air halfway through my show.
That's fantastic. Anything else you got for tonight?
Cincinnati. No, I'm done. Let's get the hell out of here. I don't want to talk about that game ever again.
Do you want to tease anything else for Friday's event? What do you want to say about Friday's event at this point? Because we're less than a week away.
Okay, here's the deal. We're doing what's called a subathon. Subathon is you do a long live stream throughout the day. A lot of them are 24 hours. We're not doing 24 hours. We have the Wichita State game on Thursday night. So we're going to start Friday around noon. Aaron and I are working on guests. I've got a tentative agreement from a very, very large guest.
I just thought you were going to say from another country.
He's probably going to be in another country. So we got to make sure his internet connection works and everything is good. He has agreed, as long as everything works, that he will come on the show at some point in time on Friday. It'll be strictly on YouTube. It won't be on Facebook. It won't be on Twitter. Strictly a YouTube stream. So you can find us there. We're going to have guests all day. We'll be talking to the sponsors. We'll be talking to the staff. I guess we'll include the BB, or not the BBP, but Brent will pop on. Dave will pop on. I don't want people to think we're doing like a BBP and a BCJ.
No, correct.
Brent will pop on. Dave will pop on. Galactic, Danco, PTP. So we got a plenty going on. A really big guest to headline it. Not sure what time that'll be. And then we're going to work on some other guests throughout the day to sprinkle in. So Friday the 18th, right? It's the 18th.
Yes.
You can spend all day with us, and we're working to get this channel to 1,000.
Tell your friends, tell your family members, like, please help us get to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000, the hours will take care of themselves, as they always do with you people, because you all are fantastic to us. So just help us grow.
If you don't subscribe, hit subscribe.
Please, for the love of God, hit subscribe. That's the reason we're doing 12 hours.
Right.
And we're going to tell you that probably over the head, I'd imagine 100 times through that 12 hours.
And I'm sure I'll have my laptop along with this setup. I'll be probably cooking some lunch, cooking Brendel family dinner. Maybe we'll get Kelly on here to talk to everybody for a little bit.
I'm probably going to be ordering Galactic fried chicken as I'll be downtown.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. All right. He's Aaron Smith. I'm Chad Brendel. It's the Nightcap. Galactic fried chicken. Blah, blah, blah.
See ya!